America's McMurdo Station is the largest research base in Antarctica. Housing up to 1,500 people, McMurdo serves as a hub for all American bases on the continent, including one just yards from the geographic South Pole. McMurdo Station is not under American sovereignty, as it is located in the New Zealand-claimed Ross Dependency. Despite this, the United States does not pay rent to New Zealand, and Americans living on the base still have to follow US laws. The Kiwis don't have a problem with this arrangement, as they allow their airport in Christchurch to be used as a staging facility for the United States Antarctic program. The reason has to do with Antarctica's rather unique status in international law. Antarctica is Earth's coldest, most remote, and last discovered continent. Europeans, believing there must be another landmass south of the equator so the land area in the northern and southern hemispheres would be equal, searched the oceans for the Terra Australis Incognita, or hidden southern land. While they did correctly predict the existence of a new continent, it wasn't exactly what they were expecting. Located almost entirely within the polar region and covered in glaciers, Antarctica is a hostile place where even today no human lives permanently. Antarctica's isolation has not stopped countries from making territorial claims, but such claims are not widely recognized and because of an international treaty, mostly ignored. 7 countries claim territory in Antarctica: New Zealand, Australia, France, Norway, the United Kingdom, Argentina, and Chile. Beginning around the anti-meridian is New Zealand's Ross Dependency, situated on the shores of the Ross Sea. There are several research bases in the claim, including McMurdo Station, New Zealand's Scott Station, and bases operated by Italy and South Korea. To the west is the Australian Antarctic Territory, by far the largest claim on the continent. Covering over 3.6 million square miles of land, the AAT on its own would be the world's 7th largest country after Australia itself. Splitting the AAT is France's Adelie Land, known for its strong winds and storms. Opposite the Ross Dependency around the Prime Meridian is Queen Maud Land, claimed by Norway. It was there where Antarctica was first discovered and during the whaling era served as a base for ships. These 4 territorial claims are clearly defined with no disputes, but the same cannot be said for West Antarctica, where 3 countries have disputed territory. Spanning from 20 degrees to 80 degrees west is the British Antarctic Territory. The British claim dates to 1908 and includes the polar South Orkney and South Shetland Islands. Argentine Antarctica, however, overlaps 85% of the BAT between 25 and 74 degrees west. Antarctica is not the only site of territorial disputes between Argentina and the UK, as Argentina also claims the British-controlled South Georgia, South Sandwich, and Falkland Islands, the latter of which the 2 countries fought a war over in the early 1980s. Further west is the Chilean Antarctic Territory between 53 and 90 degrees west. The western portion is undisputed, but the Chilean claim overlaps a small portion of the BAT, and the eastern half overlaps both the British and Argentine claims. Finally, between 90 degrees and 150 degrees west is Marie Byrd Land. No country asserts sovereignty over this vast swath of isolated land south of the Pacific Ocean, making it by far the largest unclaimed piece of land on Earth. An interesting feature of the Antarctic claims is how geographically significant they are. 4 countries' Antarctic claims are larger than the home country itself. The British and Norwegian claims are each 7 times the size of the UK and Norway proper, respectively. Even relatively small French Adelie Land is 80% the size of European France. In the eyes of the world, however, all of these claims and disputes are largely meaningless. Some of the claims are recognized by other countries, but such countries are only ones with Antarctic claims of their own. First ratified in 1959 by 12 countries, including all 7 with territorial claims, the Antarctic Treaty suspends existing claims and bans military activity and nuclear testing for all points below 60 degrees south. The treaty does not force signatories to renounce existing claims, nor does it prevent other countries like the US or Russia from annexing territory in the future. And while Antarctica is set aside for scientific purposes, countries are still allowed to use military assets for civilian purposes in the region. The result is a checkerboard of research bases across the continent. Antarctica is de facto entirely unclaimed because so far its uses have been largely scientific in nature. The continent's isolation, little dry land, inaccessible natural resources, and lack of geostrategic value have rendered it unnecessary to enforce territorial claims and develop economically and militarily. It is tempting to think that the Antarctic treaty system could be used as a model for other areas like the high seas or outer space, but if a place has economic or military value, there will be countries trying to claim it. After all, outside of Antarctica, over 99.9% of Earth's land is claimed by nation-states. It is important to note, though, the Antarctic Treaty only makes the territorial claims dormant, and Marie Birdland is a clean slate. Treaties are only as good as the signatories' willingness to abide by them, and new opportunities could change the calculus. And it is not like the 7 countries with claims have forgotten about them. In 2012, Argentina protested the British renaming a section of the BAT after Queen Elizabeth II. Keep in mind that most of Antarctica is technically claimed, and America's extensive explorations of Marie Birdland in the mid-20th century could provide a reasonable pretext for annexing the region. A century ago, Antarctic explorers risked and sometimes lost their lives in pursuit of exploration of Earth's final terrestrial frontier. If conditions south of the Antarctic Circle materially changed in such a way to allow for more human activity, it can be assured that a new race for Antarctica would begin.